What is Soulaan? Soulaan identity. This is something that I've been tracing the last probably for about a week or two now. And I think it's a relevant topic based on what we see going on. I have these people's pictures up for a reason. Um, it has to do with Black American identity. Another way of saying FBA, another way of saying Native Black American, another way of saying Freedmen. But I like the twist that they're putting on the soul and identity. We're going to get into what it means, what it's about, who it's for, who it's not for, and all that. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot because I believe in having different names. I do believe in having different names to call yourself. You know what I mean? As long as all those names are names that you created. I'd rather have 10 names we call ourselves than one name given to us. You dig what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about this identity and identity politics. And we're going to go more into this whole Cardi B situation. Rapper JT called her out again in a diss track. And before that, JT, she's been very vocal about, you know, Cardi B calling black people monkeys and having all those racialized comments about us. And how Cardi B's been very problematic to black Americans. And we're also going to talk about a clip. We're going to show a clip from Godfrey. The comedian Godfrey likes to play both sides of the fence. And, this isn't me going at Godfrey. I like Godfrey. I have no issues with Godfrey. But when people play both sides of the fence, it got to be talked about. The same way we complimented Godfrey on this channel for stepping up when he boycotted Vlad and some of the dope moves that he's made, we got to call him out when he's talking about black Americans and our identity and playing that African shit. That's not cool. And then I wish I could play. I wish I could play the video. I wish I could play the video. There's a song that's out. I don't know. I might review the video over on Patreon. I might review it. But there's a song that's out right now. By Mona Leo called Sexy Soulaan. And it's part of a bigger movement that we see going on here in America with black Americans and our identity. Again, I say I think this is a good thing. And people that keep saying that, oh, black people thought they was this and thought they was that. Yes, there's a lot of confusion going on in black America about our identity. That's right. And you know why? Because when you've been lied to for generation upon generation upon generation, it's going to take a little time to sort out some things. We just right now comparing notes and we realizing we've been duped. So before black people, before you allow any other group to criticize you, you look at them funny and ask them, why ain't you doing the same with your homeland? Maybe you're not Nigerian. Maybe somebody created that term in 1960, and what you are is from you may have your tribe, but you might realize your tribe got marched down to a totally different place. Your tribe ain't where it once was 300 years ago. They've been shuffled around and relocated, cut off. Maybe it's time that you take some time to create your own national identity outside of a label that someone from England labeled your country. So anyway, we're going to get through that today. That's what we're going to talk about. We're not going to be here forever. Today It's gonna be a fairly short show, relative. I'm not going an hour and a half, 2 hours today. I'm not gonna. I was gonna take calls. I'm not gonna take any calls because I do got so much shit to do. But I want y'all to tune in, strap in, do what you got to do. No pause. We don't use that kind of language around here, and we're gonna get started in about 45 seconds. Identity. We about to talk about that. What does it mean? What is it about? Why it's important. Using real world examples and context as to why it's important. This right here is a Soulaan flag. I want to first give credit to the creator of the term. I know his name, but let me pull it up again because the last thing I want to do is mispronounce it. Soulaan. Oh, and he's on Twitter. Soulaan. This is his Twitter. I want to make sure y'all follow his Twitter. He's the creator of the term. And I like the way he and Tariq had a conversation the other day, clearing up any confusion, showing that there is no fight. That is just multiple ways of saying the same thing about our identity. But before we get started, breaking news. Looks like, oh, I'm sorry, here's his identity right here, my bad. This is his Twitter. But it looks like Diddy was sentenced to 4 more years in jail. This is breaking news. And it is not beyond me that today is a 6 of Diamonds day. Do y'all remember when I read the cards on Diddy 2 years? It was actually 2 years ago today that I told everyone that Diddy's gonna be going to court, didn't I? For those who don't remember on my card reading show 2 years ago today, I said Diddy will be facing legal troubles. Press the number 1 if you remember that. Let's watch. For those of you who weren't around, be bankruptcy. I don't want to put bankruptcy out there on the brother. I don't want to wish that upon nobody. But yeah, his cards. I see lawsuits. That's 7 of clubs in Jupiter. Yeah, I see lawsuits. I see something with courtroom battles coming his way. And yeah. I don't know if it's not guaranteed, folks. Disclaimer: this is for entertainment purposes. I'm not saying I know the future. I'm not saying this is what's guaranteed to happen. What I'm saying is this is what's in his cards, and it's on us to wait and see. But I tell you this much: the people who listen to this show regularly, they'll tell you these cards be. That could be bankruptcy. I don't know if what did I say? That show was 2 years ago today on this very platform. We said Diddy is facing some courtroom battles and some legal troubles. And when you watch the whole show, it's because of that 6 of diamonds he had in his reward. I was able to see that. And today being no coincidence that 2 years later on the day of his sentencing, it's a 6 of diamonds day. And the 6 of diamonds is a card of karma. So you can like the cards, not like the cards. I'm not here to preach and tell you to like the cards. I don't give a fuck. But the cards are something that I do. I like to read them because the cards are a calendar. It's just like reading any calendar. You know, if you're in Alaska in December, it's going to snow. You dig? You know, if you're in Florida in July, it's going to be hot. So all the cards are just a weather report on the climate of the times in your life and in society's life. But yeah, we caught that. I'm a brag. I'm a brag. That was 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm a brag. 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. So he's gotten sentenced to prison for 4 years. I'm going to say this and then we're going to get to the topic. I'm going to say this then we're going to get to the topic. With it being a 6 of diamonds day, this is whatever happened, that 4-year sentence, that's a lot in the way, the universe's way of Diddy serving his karma. He's been a terrible human being and released some probably worse music. Although he did have some good jams. But he's an evil little son of a bitch to a lot of people. But at the same time, the trial itself was very weak. I'm the kind of person, even though I may not like you, and I may think you're an evil son of a bitch, what he got convicted for in the trial, that was bullshit. I would rather have seen him gotten convicted on things that he's actually done. And if you've been around like I've been around, you've heard a lot of things this nigga's done. Hell, part of the reason why I'm not tripping on him getting 4 years is because that song he did for Biggie, Every Breath I Take, that was the worst fucking funeral song ever. That was one horrible way to send that man out. Every breath I take. That song was trash. Man, you should have just had Bone remake See You at the Crossroads, nigga. Eazy-E got See You at the Crossroads. Biggie got Every Breath I Take. You know, goddamn Marvin Gaye got Silky, Silky Soul Singer. Marvin Gaye got 2. He got Missing You by Diana Ross. And my father-in-law, Mr. James Carmichael, his production. Like, Marvin Gaye got this shit right here. You know, Marvin Gaye got this by Frankie.
And his sweet, sweet melody. Do you recall?
Good ass music. You know, Eazy-E got this.
Bum, 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 bum.
The night play too deep for beachside. Little legs I got too big. Tell me your piece of the seats for them big.
Biggie got this. Trash.
Though it's bigger, just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time.
You sent that man out the wrong way. So 4 years is probably time, the amount of time you need to spend in jail for sending out such a legendary rapper in such a whack-ass way. Oh yeah, Night Shift by the Commodores. I forgot. My father-in-law did produce 2 songs, but the Night Shift was about a few artists, not just Marvin Gaye. But Mr. Carmichael produced 2 songs for Marvin Gaye's remembrance.
So you can't see what's going on.
Both that song and Missing You were produced by the great James Carmichael. And y'all don't know James Carmichael's name, and everybody knows Diddy's name. That's exactly what's wrong with music. Everybody knows Diddy's name, but don't nobody know the man that produced this great ass song right here.
That we're never told.
I love that you dedicate a song to somebody who passed away. Not no sample. You don't sample your way to somebody's heart. You give them your music. Salute to James Carmichael. Y'all don't know who he is, but y'all know Diddy. That's the problem with music. And that's why we got a Cardi B today. So y'all know Diddy's that part. So that's how we transition into the show. Anyway, hit the like button, y'all, and let's get started with the topic. If y'all watch it later, I just played a dope ass music breakdown that you just missed because I'm deleting that shit out. But yeah, he sampled the police. I said Sting. He sampled the police. Sampling a white boy instead of making some original music from scratch. I thought y'all did y'all hear sonically why I've never liked Diddy's generation of music? Did y'all hear that? Did you hear the difference from Night Shift and Missing You to what Diddy did, quality wise in the ears with the music? You hear the difference in approach, the difference in talent. Did y'all hear that, or is it just me? Am I tripping? And that goes into Soulaan identity. Something about being, we're going to break down first what a Soulaan is, and then we're going to get into some of the shit that Cardi B and Godfrey was doing to make a point and Nicki Minaj to make a point. We're going to make a point as to, we like to give reasons as to why we're delineating. This isn't about being evil. This isn't about the people of y'all out there that are cool with us. It ain't about y'all. This is about us facing a lot of these double operatives in our culture. Somebody said you tripping a little bit different errors. That's a stupid response, Jay Sanders, because what James Carmichael did in 1985 and what Count Basie did in 1945 are probably equal when it comes to production wise. Black American production has always been here, no matter what era. Nat King, whether you're dealing with Nat King Cole, Ray Charles, Quincy Jones, Duke Ellington, Norman Whitfield, Quincy Jones, it's always been a high standard. That shit dropped off in the 90s, and if you follow my Patreon, I have a full series on how black music was destroyed. There's a 6-part series up there on Patreon right now showing you how black American music was systematically destroyed. This isn't me pulling nothing out of my ass. This is me studying the history of the music industry firsthand, not only through books, but through people like Mr. James Carmichael, who got the report itself from Dick Gregory in 1982 when he was recording with Lionel Richie about the plan to destroy black music. All I do is show you the evidence. None of you niggas need to come here and argue with me on this shit. I've been studying this shit long before I came to the internet, all right? I knew this shit 15, 20 years ago, okay? I just come to the internet to share what I've been knowing, all right? So no arguing with me. There's a quality deficit, and it was by design. Okay? Please do not argue with me. The reason why sampling was a thing in the 90s is because they stopped hiring arrangers and producers that can make you a song from scratch. Because if I get you to sample, I'm getting you to sample a song that I already own. You're paying me twice to sample Because I own that song, but it's coming out of your budget to sample it. And it lowered the vibration of the people. Got our minds boxed in because music no longer flowered and expanded out and got you to think and grow. Hold on, Rocky. Come on, Rocky. Music is supposed to expand your mind, not box it in. And our music forever expanded our minds until they started switching that shit up in the 80s and really into the 90s. That was done on purpose. They sample the song and put it on a 4-bar loop to keep your mind boxed in it is. That's why you can't have a decent music conversation today. It's always, what's the top 5? You know? That's what it's about now. You can't even have I don't like that person, man. Drake. No real conversation, and that's by design. The retarded kids won in the 90s. The geniuses got pushed to the side, and the retarded ones like Diddy got pushed to the front. And that's how we get to Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. So now, let's get back into what a Soulaan is. A Soulaan, let me play the video for you. I'm gonna take you right to the horse's mouth, and they're going to break down. And this is, there we go. Soulaan as defined by its creators.
Solani, what it mean? Now, Mona Leo done set up here and dropped this beautiful song calling herself a Soulaan, Black American Princess of Babs. And y'all out here arguing. I've been seeing a lot of folks go back and forth about the term Solani, what it means, and who is allowed to identify as Soulaan or Solani. And y'all, it ain't no need to debate about it because the creators literally told us. Now, folks is debating back and forth about whether or not it's Soulaan or Solani. It is both. It's both. And it is a term that refers to the distinct culture, history, and knowledge of Black Americans before and after colonization in America. That means we do recognize our pre-Columbian existence in America. So they recognize the transatlantic slave trade, which they also talk about earlier on the page. And then they also recognize that there were indigenous Black Americans. So both FBA, ADOS, everybody is included. Black American, everybody included. However, they are very clear that this is specifically for Black Americans, people who have cultural and ancestral history in America, not for immigrants, not for first generation. They repeat that multiple times. Now, why did they choose the term Solani? The story is interesting because I watched the video that...
The big part right there is cultural and ancestral roots. Cultural and blood roots. Why is it important that you have cultural roots? Here's the website. The website is Soulaan, Soulaan.com. And it's talking about, you know, it's a cultural hub dedicated to celebrating and preserving the rich heritage, history, and evolving identity of Black Americans. It is an official homage to Soulaan creators. At Soulaan, we strive to connect past legacies with present aspirations, creating a space that honors both ancestral wisdom and contemporary innovation. Our platform offers a range of resources, stories, and insights aimed at empowering individuals on their personal and collective journey. So this is basically what it's about. And I like the fact that when I was listening to, when you go on over to their Twitter page, the brother was talking on Tariq's show. And he and Tariq made it very clear there is no competition, because I've been kind of sitting back and watching, and I was actually kind of waiting on that conversation before I said anything. Because one thing I don't want is confusion. I don't like confusion, and I like I'm digging what they do, and I see how. But it was good to hear the two brothers actually talk to each other and make it very clear to everybody that there is no confusion, because really it is. It's all the same. You're a freedman. Soulaan is a freedman. It's an ADOS. It's an FBA. It's a Native Black American NBA. It's people who tied their ancestral history back here to the United States of America. That's what a Soulaan is, and it's also cultural. When asked, can people who have half lineage be a Soulaan? And they basically said it really depends on how you act. It really depends on how you act. And we all know us when we see us. And I'm with that definition. I'm with that definition. I am with that definition. Because Malcolm X was half, but he was all us. You dig? So, depends on how you act. That's the way I see it. And then one thing I like about what they do, and the little I've heard from them talk, the reason why they use the word soul, and because it's about a soul. We are the people of soul. We have soul music, and that's what made me really like them when they explained it. Now, I tried to find. I heard them say it in a clip, but I can't find the clip. But I'm gonna basically paraphrase what I heard what I'm talking about. It was like Black Americans. Everything we do it with soul. We do it with flavor. The way we dress with soul. The way we work, work songs, and the way we move. It's we got a particular type of style and swag. The way we talk with soul. Our music is soul.
Roland, I know you got.
You know what I mean?
I know you got soul. If you didn't, you wouldn't be in here.
That's how we move. Salute to Bobby Bird. I know you got soul. If you didn't, you wouldn't be in here.
I know you got the feeling.
That's us. You can feel the soul in the music. There's like soul is something that, as like, you can't explain soul. You can't teach soul. You can't quantify soul. You just know soul what it is. You know what I mean? Like certain things just soulful. Like that's just soul. When you listen to that by Al Green, when you listen to that, like this is soul. Like you can't explain this, quantify that. It's deeper than the lyrics. It's deeper than all that. It's I don't know. How can I put it? What word? It's soul. It's just soul. That's what soul is. That's who we are. We the people of soul. Like, can you like? Oh, you can't. You can't. So for people who out there, and I'm speaking it for us as Black folks, we got this thing, this element that is unique to us. Music, Ray Charles. So whether you listen to Outkast, Ray Charles, or Kendrick, or Tupac, Michael Jackson, B.B. King, watching Lawrence Fishburne act, or Angela Bassett when she acts, there's just this soul. There's a soul to it that cannot be explained. And we as black people, we have to lean into that. That's our trump card, for lack of a better term. Yeah, Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Thelonious Monk. When you listen to some of that, just the way Thelonious plays the key. Ooh, did that run tickle your spine? Let me play that run again from Thelonious Monk, just in case y'all don't hear what I'm talking about. That's soul in jazz. Listen to this run he makes. This is soul. That's soul. You can't teach it, and you can't pass it on. That's a song called Round Midnight by Thelonious Monk. But those runs he make, it's just, you can feel it going down your spine as he does it, touching your soul. Landon said, super chat, said me Lil Kim 3.0. Cisco Bell says, our language is really multidimensional. Right. Our language is really multimodal. We communicate meaning across many channels, verbally, musically, spiritually, through dance, and etc. That's why non-FBA can't understand us. You're 100% right, brother. Gogo says, I'm in love by Wilson Pickett. Right. The definition of soul. Right. So you see what we talking about here. That's a Soulaan. We know it when I can't point it out to you and say it dresses this way. I can't say it comes from a poor neighborhood. Miles Davis wasn't poor. Miles Davis gave us soul. Funk is a middle class music. The Ohio Players met in college, but they still came up with
Backbone.
They met in college, so it ain't about poverty. It ain't about poverty.
You know what I think heaven is?
That's soul. It's about whether you black, poor, middle class, upper class, lower middle class, just getting by. It's what makes us us. So when you go deeper into it, now we get these people who cosplay us coming into our culture talking shit. Let me see where my notes at. There's a rapper named JT, and I can't play her song, but she just threw a shot at Cardi B. And she's somebody who over a while now, for a few years, been calling out Cardi B for cosplaying a black person. And Thought Crimes had a great show today. It's on their Patreon now. Their Patreon is more than worth subscribing to. If you're gonna be on somebody's Patreon, I totally see Thought Crimes Patreon. Probably my favorite Patreon. I'm a member of a few, but they really put in work. But they're talking about this whole situation right now with Nicki and with Cardi, and how basically a lot of the industry guys are trying to take Cardi's side. It's like everyone is ignoring how terrible Cardi is. And this isn't my thought, this is Thought Crimes thought. And they were talking, but I agree with what they were saying. They pointed something out I didn't even think about. They're like, Cardi B can't rap, she can't write, she can't dance, she don't choreograph, she don't design her own clothes. She does nothing artistically comes from her. Everything that we hear comes from somebody giving to her. She's a total, according to P Solo Prince, she's Milli Vanilli, Prince and Sincere. I forgot which one said that, but Cardi B's Milli Vanilli, and they are 100% right. Those are their thoughts, not mine. I like to be very clear, and give credit when I get inspired by what someone else says. But they're right. They're right. But that goes into what I always talk about, how us Black Americans, in order for these other people to get into our culture, we have to lower the bar. It's like we don't require the soul element of them the way we do our own. Hell, a lot of Black people, like Dionne Warwick, her crowd was mostly white because she didn't have enough soul for us. She had soul, but Dionne Warwick was the singer that taught Barbra Streisand and all those white women how to sound black. Not saying Dionne Warwick did that on purpose to put them in the game. No, Dionne Warwick's OG. I would love to meet that woman one day. She is amazing. I love Dionne Warwick. I'm just talking about how people view things. Dionne Warwick was soulful, but she pulled the soul back because white America, they don't really like us to be that soulful. So generally, as a Black artist, if you want to cross over to a bigger side, you got to pull back the soul. But white women could never sound nothing like Black women until... Listen to how Dionne Warwick sings. She's very on the beat.
Walking down the street and I start to cry each time we meet. Walk on by.
Very on the beat. One way you pull the soul back is to be on the beat. Our music is generally between the beats. The more on the beat you are, because the other people, the non-Blacks, the non-Soulans, they have to be on the beat. They're very on the beat. Their music, and I'm including Africans. Listen to their music when they sing. When people that are Caribbean, no matter what it is, it's right there on the beat. Versus us, we play between the beats. We dibble dabble. All of our music is between. And we like to lay a pocket and stretch those beats out and do everything. We weave around the beat. Soul triplets. I'm gonna give you an example from the Brides of Funkenstein. I'm gonna give you an example from the Brides of Funkenstein. Listen to these triplets. How it's it's you're not gonna be able to get these notes on the beat.
What I need to live. Hammer inside being that breed, that's how I'm so inclined. What goes in is what comes out, always on my mind.
It's a triplet that's weaved in and out the beat. That's how we do it. Other people can't really sing like that. Because it's not a rhythm that you can count. You can't really count those soul triplets. Harmonies.
Can't hide love, well I bet ya.
You see how it's that space? Nothing is sung right there.
I can't hide.
Rex. It's a flare. It's a thing. It's not right on the beat. It's around the beat. That's Soulaan. But we invite these people in and they bastardize our sound. They strip the soul and they call black women's kids monkeys. Cardi B. Do y'all see how like we as a people culturally, we lose when we lower the bar? The biggest loser is actually us. Because what they for the most part, what they do is they figure out a way to mimic us. But they can only mimic us when we're at our most simple. The only way you can get a Nicki Minaj to come in, because Nicki Minaj is talented. She can rap, she can write, but she ain't writing about shit. She's not writing about a motherfucker. She ain't saying shit with her lyrics. Part of our standard used to be, okay, you can be lyrical, but what are you saying with your lyrics? What are you using your lyrics for? And if everything is huff and pluff and huff, then you just weren't taking this serious. It was like, all right, you're a novelty act. You dig what I'm saying? You weren't taken serious. You couldn't be taken serious. But you got these mainstream podcasts giving Cardi B all of the passes and then turn around and wonder why the music sucks. They don't bring in the Soulaan experience. Go with the big boy. Appreciate that. Love the stream and chat. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Go. $100. Mogul Maze, appreciate $20, man. Much appreciated. I appreciate y'all for joining. But I'm trying to just explain it to you from an experience. What's up, Ben? You still got to get your report. I sent you an email, Ben. A response. Hit me back for your report. I ain't forgot, dog. And if you're on my Patreon reading level, email me to get your report, okay? If you're on the reading level on Patreon. And if you're on the highest level, you're entitled to a reading. So make sure y'all reach out to me. I reached out to everybody. Y'all got to hit me back. But hell yeah, you need to be listening to some Brides of Funkenstein. Also listen to Parlet. Parlet got this one song that's so goddamn funky. If you want a funky song, a funky album with some women singing, play some of that Parlet. Look at this album cover. enough right there. You can't imitate that. Invasion of the Booty Snatchers. Parlette. I got some deep cuts for y'all. Nigga Black McBain said shit's funkier than the Indian locker room. God damn, that's ooh yeah, that's funky. He said the Indian locker room. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. There's a certain thing. And it's not to say all non-black artists don't have it. Tina Marie had it. Tina Marie had it. See, Tina Marie could be a technical Soulaan because of her experience. Tina had it. Tina Marie had it. Tina Marie had it. I gotta give Tina Marie credit. Yeah, Mike said Tina don't count. Yeah, she don't count. Tina Marie don't count. She's Joe Thompson, video game controller dances, goofily under the world. Whoa. Yeah. What up, Hassan? That's my creative director of all my things that I do on camera. Yeah, we talked about Diddy a little bit earlier. I'm glad Hassan's in here. Miles put up the link to Incense and Ashtrays, my other channel. Go check out our interview with Miss Berta Bell, please. Go check it out. The lady who named the term lowrider, and her husband Charles Red Bell, the original lowriders of Los Angeles. We are not allowing people to take our culture. Not saying that the Latinos don't have a lowrider culture too, but the culture known around the world was popularized by us. We came up with the through emotion. We came up with the term lowrider. But you can check that all out on Incense and Ashtrays. So click the link. It's in the description right now. Go check out our interview. And we got some more shit coming. Incense and Ashtrays, I got a lot of shit coming for y'all, all right? Yeah, Mona Leo, she is a great rapper out of Houston. So that's what it is. So you may be asking, okay, why is Godfrey in the thumbnail? Why is why is Godfrey in the thumbnail? He said some goofy shit today. Well, I don't know when he said it. I just saw it today. But Godfrey says some goofy shit every now and again. He said some goofy shit. And this was goofy. And this goes into why we need to embrace our Soulaan identity as Black Americans and really, really watch, because this means something. I'm reading the chat room. I don't know where this comment came from, but it just distracted me. And so he kind of right, though. He said, niggas will find a way to turn the most serious conversation into Kobe or Bron versus Jordan. You're right about that, Tyson Jordan Jackson, as you have a Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan, and Bo Jackson as your name. But I get where you're coming from. Niggas will take a serious conversation and turn it into a goddamn top 3 debate. You're right about that. What's up, Netta J in the chat room? But let's listen to this thing that Godfrey said, and we're going to talk about, people who play, because Godfrey likes to kind of play around with this racial thing. On one hand, he'll sound like he's really understands what's going on, but then he'll get around his people and it'll be some other shit. And again, this is no criticism of Godfrey yourself. Just call out the behavior. I still got love for Godfrey. I don't take sides in other people's beefs. He's a funny person. He's a funny comedian. And I'll never take that away from Godfrey. And I think he's a very intelligent person. But, you know, we got to call it out. And here we go.
What? Like, colonization messed everything up. Slavery messed everything up. Because I remember, like, once I started to own my name and who I was, I would tell the kids, I was like, well, you're black. You African too. No, I ain't black. I'm first off, I got Indian in my blood. See a baby hair?
Do you see? Look at his body language. You talk about people who did. If you want to see how people disrespect Black Americans, watch them. Watch when they go. When they go for the most negative stereotype of us and use that trope when talking like we talk, that right there is a major sign of disrespect.
I got Indian in my blood. See a baby hair? See a baby hair? Like, it was like a baby hair. Indian. It was like.
See, that shows you how little these people respect us. We've all been hearing we have Indian in our blood. And a lot of us got proof. I know I do. But while we're working on our Soulaan identity and really working out in our minds and talking to one another who we are, you got these people who won't check who they are. Why is your daddy's birthday January 1st and your granddaddy's birthday January 1st? Friday, Lovejoy. No, when I was when we used to hang out at UCLA, my boy used to have a girlfriend that stayed in the sorority house, and the cook was a Nigerian dude named Lovejoy. His name was really Lovejoy. But they'll come around and talk to us crazy because we working shit out.
Anything to be further away. I was like, but you're black. Yeah. How can you, like, black people don't come from anywhere else but the continent of Africa. Yeah. But we were that messed up.
No, messed up is thinking that black people only come from Africa. That's messed up. Because if you think black people only come from Africa, where do Europeans come from? You don't think black people were in Europe before? If Europeans are only 5,000 years old, or what we know as Caucasians, who was there before then? So black people were in India? We got all the evidence in the world to show that black people were here in the Americas tens of thousands of years ago. That evidence is everywhere. They were in Mexico, the Olmec, in Asia, in Japan, in China. So that right there is bullshit. So you see the bullshit, he's talking with that ugly ass shirt. That's how you know we ain't the same. Black Americans will never wear no goddamn green, mustard, orange. That shit look like a Kodak film. Remember them old Fuji film VHS cassette covers? This nigga shirt look like a Fuji film VHS cassette cover. No, nigga, we different. Yes, we're different. We ain't wearing that. And I'm not even into fashion. I don't give a fuck about fashion. I am not the best dresser. You're never gonna see me fashion forward. But I ain't wearing no Taco Bell looking shit like that. That's like the original Taco Bell where homie had the sombrero on top. We's different. But this is the guy I want to talk about. You're going to let some people who just got out of the world, who just got out of the jail of Europe in the last 300 years, tell you that black people only come from Africa. Where are the Australians, huh? You hear that shit? Yes, we're our own identity. And actually, I was looking tomorrow. Tomorrow will be my great-great-grandfather's. What year is this? He was born in 1860 in Paw Paw, Michigan. That's my great-great-grandfather, Mr. Walter Whitmore Roberts. He was born a free man in 1860 in Paw Paw, Michigan. He would go on to become a stonemason for the city of Benton Harbor, Michigan. One of his brothers, Adelbert Roberts, went on to become the first black congressman, state senator in Illinois history. Godfrey, you from Chicago. The first black state senator in Illinois history was his brother, my great-great-granddaddy, uncle, Adelbert Roberts. His other brother, Mr. Carl Glennis Roberts, went on to become a surgeon who, in his obituary in the National Magazine for Doctors, his obituary was written by none other than Dr. Charles Drew, because my great-great-granduncle, Carl Glennis Roberts, was the great Charles Drew's muse. Black Americans born free, and this particular lineage I can trace back to the 1640s. I got a picture of somebody who was born in 1860. Do you? Why are you trying to say that we're all African? Ain't nowhere in Mr. Walter Whitmore Roberts, my great-great-granddaddy, nowhere in his bloodline, at least for the last half a millennia, do we see African. But I do see indigenous Powhatan. His great-great-grandmother was Powhatan Indian. His great-grandmother, let me say that again, was Powhatan Indian, born in 1725. I don't think the Powhatan were Africans. So tomorrow, what birthday? What's that date? Let's see. What's that? 2025 minus 1860. So tomorrow's my great-great-granddaddy's 165th birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Walter Whitmore Roberts. 165 years old if you kept living. And I got to sit back and listen to this Jive Taco Bell shirt wearing motherfucker tell me that, oh, they said they're Indian. I can name my Indian ancestors. Can you name your great-great-granddaddy? Flex on them one time. These motherfuckers don't know. Hey, chat room. These niggas don't know who the fuck we are. These niggas don't know who the fuck we are. Well, they about to find out. Let's keep listening out on what Godfrey had to say.
Oh yeah, to where it's like I have to disassociate. No, my family we're Creole. We come down from Louisiana.
I used to get this one. Oh man,
because you try to when you start liking girls.
I got Creole too. Yeah, they got their own tradition, their own language, their own way of cooking, and those people been in that land for thousands of years. That's why they were able to live in swamps and not get fucked with by the white supremacists in those swamps, because they were people of the land. That's why our music is different than your musty ass music.
When you start liking girls and stuff, and it was, color, the colorism was big too. This is a Southern thing. And I would be like, they'd be like, you cute to be dark skinned. They would say that. What? Sure. You're handsome to be dark. I don't really usually date dark skinned dudes. I go, and because being African, you're like, that's normal to us. Like, I got proud, dope, dark-skinned uncles and light-skinned uncles. Like, we're Africans. And I was like, what?
See right there, going back to the Soulaan thing. That's where we're different. Black Americans, the reason here, let me put Godfrey up on game. Gary Owens now, after I did that show on Gary Owens, he's now a new subscriber to my channel, according to him. And he saw that video where we talked about him. So maybe Godfrey will see the video where we're talking about him. Maybe he won't. But just in case Godfrey does, let's educate him. Okay? And this would love Godfrey. Battle of a White Nation, Dr. Jocelyn Battlora. Upon These Shores, William R. Scott. In these books, they talk about a lot of the laws. Segregating Sound is another good book by Carl Hagstrom Miller. In these books, they talk about the whole colorism thing and some of the laws that led to color, the reason why we have a colorism. Especially let's use the Creole, for example. There was a time 150 years ago, 200 years ago, that those classified as Creole, as the lighter skinned ones, they were allowed more free access than the darker skinned ones. So in America, lighter skin 150 years ago got you closer to freedom. Lighter skin got you closer to freedom. And so judging somebody on skin tone is a direct effect of freedom and whether or not you were allowed to be free. Mulatto, Melungeon, you had different laws that guided you. Let me show you my great-great-granddaddy from Louisiana. He lived in Louisiana, but he was born in Natchez, Mississippi, November 18th, 1858. He was a mulatto. Nathaniel Hoggett. He was considered mulatto. He's the ancestor who was given a plantation in Natchez, Mississippi by the slave master. Problem. You know what the problem was? The state, let me see if I can pull the newspaper clip in. The state of Mississippi stepped in and said he cannot inherit the plantation in Natchez, Mississippi, because he was preferred, I'm sure. He was light-skinned. I'm sure he had preference. But the state of Mississippi stepped in and said, because he has Negro blood, we think that it's best that the will not be honored. That's what the state of Mississippi came in and said. I'm looking for the news. I have newspaper clipping. I'm looking for it right now. But and he was a mulatto, a light-skinned mulatto, that probably led into him being considered for the land. But they came in and said, no, he still has Negro blood. So in 1855, the land that was supposed to be handed to him ended up not being handed to him, and he had to move to Benton Harbor, Michigan, where he met the mother of one Roberts. I'm sorry, not him, his son. His son moved. And the Hoggets and the Roberts got together. Watch at the back. The Hoggets and the Roberts got together 2 generations after him. Because it was his grandson that invented the automatic railroad crossing. Remember I told you my great-granddad that invented the automatic railroad crossing? That was his grandson that invented that. But we could have been handed a plantation in Natchez, Mississippi in 1855. But his skin tone, it played good with other blacks, but it didn't play well with white supremacy. So black Americans went through ethnogenesis because of experiences like that. In the early 1900s, black Americans realized skin tone doesn't mean what we thought it meant. But we still have in our DNA, skin tone matters. We still have it. We don't have it as bad as places like Nigeria where y'all be getting bleaching cream. And that's another thing. The nerve of this nigga. He's talking about in Nigeria, we blah, blah, blah. Y'all use bleaching cream to get light skin. Y'all know what light skin privilege is. So what if you black people still got that light skin privilege thing in their mind? Most of us don't, but a few of us do. That's what it was. Speaking of Indian, this is Mary Bell Johnson, my Indian Potawatomi great-grandmother. She married Nathaniel Hoggett. This was Nathaniel Hoggett's wife. These two got married. A mulatto and an Indian. She was pure blood Powhatan. I'm sorry, Potawatomi. Powhatan is Virginia, East Coast, North Carolina. That's Powhatan. Potawatomi is Michigan. And these two met in Michigan. And it was their grandson that invented the automatic railroad crossing. So while I got somebody way from fucking Nigeria questioning my Indian heritage, this is a different bloodline that has Indian from a whole different section of the United States of America. This is an Indian from Michigan. She's from Michigan. And I got Cherokee from East Texas too. But I got a Nigerian laughing at us calling ourselves Indian when we can pull up pictures. This is why I'm loving the Soulaan movement, FBA movement, all of the movements, DOAS, Freedmen. I'm loving all of it. Because it all leads us back to us. So Godfrey, if you watching this, your comments are disrespectful, brother. Now let's finish this off.
What that? I don't. What does that mean? Like, but that's just the Southern mentality, or being around your light-skinned friends. Like, they'd be like, "Yeah, I want to get as dark as Godfrey and stuff, or dark as another." Because I had other African friends, and we just like, what? Like,
you know what that stuff is rooted in, and don't act like y'all don't be having bleaching cream where you from. This ain't time to be playing them games just because that Taco Bell shirt wearing ass host want to come around and marginalize us for claiming our native identity. Yeah, that's a good. That's real talk, Rogan. She said, "I never thought that I would ever see my people tribe up like this in life, and it's something wondrous to behold." I agree. I agree. Let me get some of these cash apps. Landon said, 2 words, cake soap. Aaron, oh shit. Aaron, I appreciate the 100 ball. Much love, Aaron. Aaron dropped 100. BZ. What up, Williams? Williams come through every week, man. Sometimes twice a week. I appreciate that, Williams. What's up, Cruise Control? Appreciate that. Latrivia Lawson. I appreciate that. Aaron dropped 100 ball. Appreciate the Cash App. You did? I'm gonna read this comment. I like this cat's name. The Church of Black Power. I like that name. See, I'm convinced that Godfrey is being paid toward this. He's doing it more and more. Hey, I don't know, but I'm not gonna say you wrong. I don't know. It is weird though. I will agree that it's weird. He said, watch Nollywood films to see how many actors look lighter than El DeBarge. What's up, Reggie, in the chat? But this is why I think it's a good thing, that we're doing this. You had JT checking Cardi B for anti-black talk. You got the Soulaan song, man. Go check out the music too. All right. Well, Monaleo. She has. I don't necessarily like the imagery in the video. I'm tired of black folks being associated with ratchet, but I'll take the lyrics of this song all day. That's just my personal thing. I'm tired of that particular image, that 50 Cent style image of us being played. But I'm not gonna sit around and be petty. I love the image. I love the lyrics of the song. I love her flow. I love the soul in the music. And she is doing a lot of traditional things in this music, playing spades. But I love the lyrics of the song. I love the part of the video where she's telling folks to get back. Like, no, you can't come. No, stay away from us.
All the non-blacks to the back.
All the non-blacks to the back. I like that. You know what I mean? Like, we could all love each other. But we as a people, we tired of everybody being in our face. We're just tired of everybody being in our face, acting like they're cool. But when it's time for reparations, oh, you don't need reparations. Or you do like the Latinos, you take lowrider culture, we made it popular, and you try to write us out of the history and act like we didn't do what we did. Or you do like a lot of these groups. Blue Exodus, you missed the whole point with the other flags of the countries. The hook is everybody else to the back. When she has the Black American flag up front and the image of all the other flags in the back, that's to mimic her lyrics. That's to mimic the lyrics. She's saying we're out front, you guys are in the back. That's what that image means. But no, I don't like the ratchet shit. I'm just over ratchet. If I never saw a black woman portrayed as a ratchet again, it would be too soon. I don't like that. But I do like the lyrics. Yeah. Yeah, for the P. I love that we're defining our authentic identity to the world, demanding they respect it. Right. That's the only way you don't get respect is if you demand it. It's the only way. But I'm going to let you guys argue over the details. Overall, I like where we're going with the Soulaan identity. Salute to Maroc. Go follow his page on Twitter at MAROCSOULAAN. Follow if you know. I'm glad to see the whole FBA versus ADOS fight calm down. I'm glad to see on Twitter that you don't see the Freedmen versus the tribe and all that other shit that was going on. And I don't mind, people gonna fight it out. No movement is gonna happen without fights. I get that. But at some point, you gotta fight, declare a winner, declare a draw, whatever, and move on. And that's what I think that we're doing. And I like the fact that we're doing that. Air rhythm and vibe. The ratchet shit played out. Like, gotta catch up. Get off that ratchet. That ratchet shit. I'm good. Like, no. I'm good. All right. I'm about to get up out of here. I gotta make a Costco run. I gotta get some gas before them prices go up. It was a big ass fire yesterday at the El Segundo oil refinery, and I ain't too far from where the fuck I live. I came home last night. I was walking Rocky, and I saw this orange. I saw the sky orange in the motherfucker. I thought Jesus was coming back. I swear to God. I thought Jesus was coming back. I'm like, why is the sky glowing orange at night? Only to find out that it was this big ass fire. Like, damn. So I gotta. They're about to raise the price of gas, so I'm about to go fill my shit up now. All right. Let me take these super chats. Blue Exodus wrote, "What's your thoughts on singer Kirby's song Reparations?" I keep getting tagged in that song, Reparations. I haven't really sat back and listened to it. I don't like the beat. That's why I haven't listened to it. I'll just be honest with you. When I heard it, I didn't like the beat. I didn't like the music. But that's what made me be like, okay, I'll get to it. But I'm going to get to it, Blue Exodus. I will. I'll get to it. A lot of y'all been asking me that question. But so I haven't gotten, I'll get over myself and I'll get to the lyrics. I do want to hear it. Here in New Orleans, with our traditions and festivals, we honor both our Indian and African heritage combined with our unique, distinctive FBA culture. Right. New Orleans is really good at honoring that. Y'all are. Y'all really are. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all again for listening. Remember, there are no perfect messengers. Only perfect message is for those willing to pick up the game. Y'all have a good one.